Hey guys, how you doing? Friday night, and I think we have one more Friday in February. We do's. There you are. I'm eating a cookie. Don't you tell Carlos I'm eating a cookie, because these are basically Carlos's cookies. I just didn't give it to him. I'm eating them instead. And he needs to know exactly how good they taste. They're fantastic. Like this camera. All right, let me get a sip of water and we'll get rolling. Let's see if we can do camera question and answers tonight. You think we can do that? You think I can stay on topic? Who wants to place a bet? Who wants to place a bet? Nope, I haven't changed anything on the volume, and I don't think I can go any higher. I'm a couple of minutes late. I'll tell you why in a little bit. Oh, I had another eighth of an inch I can move it. So, let's see. Turn your hearing aid up, Woody. Turn the hearing aid up. I'm still chewing on the walnuts. So delicious. I think I sold a dozen of my cookies. $100. What? When I told them the price, they go like, $100? I said, yeah. I said, if I were you, I would go get a bag of Chips Ahoy cookies at Publix. Seriously. Ah. But boy, is that a good cookie. No, I don't have them online for sale, so I'm not doing a sales job on you guys. So I see Alex is here, Woody is here, Ashley's here. Hi, Ashley. Are you sitting there with Alex? What's happening up there? How cold is it there? Are you guys getting real cold? Will you be cuddling tonight? Uh-huh. All right. See, I'm off topic already. Oh, this does have a volume over here. I'll raise it up a little bit more. How's that? Now every time I talk, it goes into the yellow a little bit too much. You got to raise your volume up a little bit, Woody. So, Peter, if you could only have one camera, which one would you pick? You know, that would be a pretty tough question. I actually had a conversation that I should actually try to replicate it with a friend of mine. We were talking about the state of the camera world. And the state of the camera world is actually quite interesting. But it's hard to have that conversation without having skin in the game, without being personally involved, without you having like a team that you're rooting for and trying to slam down the other team, you know. But we did. We had an honest-to-God conversation about cameras, and it was very interesting. So we started with Canon. Canon is basically the camera that you have in your hand, okay, is from Canon is a very good camera. Canon just designs cameras that are very good. But that doesn't, wait a minute, don't go, you know, hold on, okay? Because each camera company is going to get slammed in this conversation. Camera company, which is different from the camera. So if you are on a team, whatever team you're on, and you want to slam the other team, just hold your horses. Here, I got a kazoo for you. Stick it in your mouth. Okay, and blow. Give your kazoo a good blow. Okay? So, very, very shallow or very light. Canon, for a lot of people, has lost the trust of the camera buyer. This is my opinion now. Remember that, because you will have a different opinion. Get your own show and give your opinion. Okay? So we've got Canon. Now, the thing with the Canon camera is if you pick up a Canon camera, so this brown box right here, that's one sitting on the chair, that is Randy's Canon R10 that he has graciously let me use. And I'm getting ready to ship it back. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 lenses, an adapter, the case, the battery. He had a card, still has a card in there. And that's all going to get shipped back because he let me use that camera. Very nice camera. The thing about Canon is they're consistent. The same thing is in the same place or similar in the menus. Okay? And Canon's biggest strength right now is if you send your camera into Canon to get it serviced, they're going to treat you very, very well. Canon's service is, I think, there's only one equal to it. We'll get to that in a minute. The other ones, they're not quite there yet. So you've got the Canon camera, and Canon's biggest weakness is they're cheap. Not the price of the camera. Canon company is cheap. If you don't pay for something, they think you don't deserve it. Therefore, you don't get it. You only get what you pay for with the Canon company. And that is my basic assessment. Great service, well-built cameras, but they're cheap wads when it comes to what you get. And I have had some people inside of Canon where I've mentioned when you go back a few years, why doesn't it have like 4K? Well, they're not paying for 4K. Why should we put 4K in it? And this was not meant to be a stab. It wasn't meant with any maliciousness. That is the mindset. Now you have the camera company across the street, and that would be Sony. Sony is the opposite in that term. They will give until they're bleeding. The E10 Mark II, which is a crop sensor version of, when we get to it, the ZV-E1, which I call Eleanor, they put everything in there. It's just absolutely amazing. And they get good autofocus systems. They get good camera design. So where Sony falls down in a very large way is a couple of areas. But it is what it is. Number one, I would say, is their service. Sony's service, either you get an awesome experience where it's like, oh man, I had my camera serviced at Sony and it was fantastic. Or you get the complete opposite. I had my camera serviced with Sony and it was terrible. As a matter of fact, they didn't even seem like they gave a crap about me. Not the same experience you get at Canon. As far as the features, Sony will put everything but the kitchen sink in their cameras, and there might be a few areas where they're missing, but it's not because they're cheapy weepies. You know, you can go into a restaurant with a group of friends, and at one table they're fighting over who's going to pay the bill. Give me the bill. Give me the bill. No, I'll get it this time. No, I'll get it this time. You move over one table, and you got the same argument happening in reverse. Well, I paid this time. You should pay this time. Or, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. And they're fighting the opposite of who's going to pay the bill. So Sony is like, they'll give you everything. The E10 Mark II has got that new system on the top, which the A7C Mark II doesn't on the microphones. This is your microphone. Now on the Sony camera, the newer ones, they've got a whole top, maybe 1.5 inches long. And it's an array of microphones in there. And whether I'm behind the camera or if I'm in front of the camera, it picks me up fantastic. You actually, unless you're quite far, you don't even need to stick a microphone into the hot shoe. That's how good their newer stuff is. Now, it's not on the A7C Mark II, but maybe this camera will get an update. So the camera that you're watching right now has got one of those little fluffy muffs on top. Okay, the windscreen. Well, underneath that windscreen, it's got a 1.5 inch by 3/4 of an inch audio array up there. And let me tell you something, it works. That's one of the things that's missing on this camera. Okay. And then in between the Sony camera and company and the Canon camera company, you've got Nikon. Nikon is like a beached whale. It just sits there. You know, it's a little bit weird. Something popped up on my screen and it just left. So I didn't even have to do anything with it. So Nikon has a service that is about equal with the Canon service. You really, 8 times out of 10, you have a really good service experience with Nikon. Okay? And Nikon makes a very solid camera like Sony. So you've got 2 awesome things going on in one. And Nikon is not cheap. The low-end camera has most of what's in the Z6 Mark III, which is, it'll be coming up here in a second. Same thing with Sony. The ZV-E1 has got the same stuff that you have in an E10 Mark II. Now, it's a different size sensor and that kind of stuff. That's where they differentiate the cameras. But they're not whittling down like the R6 Mark II. The R6 Mark II has got a lot of stuff in there, okay? But you're paying $2,500 for that camera. So you've got those big 3 camera companies. That's where I sit them down, okay? So Randy's got a very developed Nikon line, and it has on their lower cameras. When I say lower, I'm talking about what is it? The something 30. It's not the Z. It's is it the Z something 30? And then they got the 50. But they got a lot of the similar stuff that they have in here. Not everything. Don't think it's a twin copy, okay? But if it was Canon, the lower end cameras would have a lot less, okay? So the only camera company right now that I feel is actually giving you, and remember the weaknesses that I mentioned, okay? The only camera company that I feel that is actually giving the best bang for the buck is Sony. I'm aware of the Canon R6 and R6 Mark II, fantastic cameras, but you're paying $4,000 for that camera. Now you look over in the lower end Canons. Actually, I was just talking to a friend who's interested in the V1, and you know what he told me? I wonder what they're going to leave out. Where did he get that mindset from? It's very simple. Canon is cheap, cheap, cheap. If you didn't pay for it, they're not giving it to you. And they have a right to do that. Okay? They have become very, very dollar conscious. So they wouldn't allow other people to get on their mount. Okay? And they sued. Who did they sue to get them to stop selling lenses? And they won. So if you have an RF lens, it's from Canon. But now suddenly everybody, and I'll be talking about this in a second, That's the influencers, which means the YouTube influencers. The power is very mighty in their hands. And I will be talking about that in a couple of minutes. So the YouTube influencers can make or break a camera. If they think it's the sweetest thing since sliced bread, oh my God, all the YouTube influencers are going to get out there. They're going to sing its praises. They're going to tell you how wonderful it is and everything that's great about the camera. But if there's one little thing they don't like, they bash and bash over and over and over and over. The camera companies, honest to God, need to be designing. You know how they say this company listens to its users, this company doesn't listen to its users? The camera companies need to make and design a camera for the YouTube influencers. If they like what's in it, for the next year, they're going to be saying, what a wonderful camera this is. So this camera here is probably my favorite camera, or one of 2 or 3 of my favorite cameras. Sometimes it's hard to pick just one. But if I had to go and buy one right away, okay, this would be at the top of my list. And when I say this, for those of you that are watching or listening like in a podcast style, meaning you're laying in your bed and you're not watching me because I ain't moving. I'm just sitting here at the Christmas desk. The president has the Resolute desk. The Christmas room has the Christmas desk. Okay? So those of you that are just listening, when I say this camera, the A7C Mark II. Now, when it came out, I'm a YouTuber and I have influence with people because I will get on, I will make videos and go like, I don't know what they made this camera for. It doesn't tickle my Giska. The ZV-E1 basically has got this, it's got that, it's got this, it's got that. And the Canon whatever has got this and it's got that. And I don't know what Sony was thinking when they made this camera. So I made videos like that. And you know what? People were echoing what I was saying and I was echoing what they were saying. And we basically put the A7C Mark II in the poo-poo bin, the crap bin. It just isn't worth a whole lot. Okay? Then Randy put one in my hand. You go, just try it. Don't come in with an attitude. Just try it. And you know what? This is now my favorite camera. It doesn't have the microphone array that I want. It doesn't have dynamic active image stabilization. But it does have some things that I like. It's got Sony's full-size battery. Okay? So it's not the little battery. It's the big boy battery. Sony doesn't make a bigger battery. This is it, Charlie. You want a higher battery? You got to go elsewhere because this is the top battery that Sony makes. Okay? Sony also took the card out of the battery compartment, which does get warm, and they put it... let's close this up. There we go. Nope. Canon makes the best latch. The best latch for the battery is on a Canon. Okay? So they put it over here. So now the card comes out over here. Now it's a single slot. I wish it had 2 slots. Okay, this is a over $2,000 camera, so it packs a punch in the price department in your wallet. Okay, so if they took this camera and they updated a few things, it would be screaming. Okay, however, I still go and reach for this one right here, the A7C Mark II. And that would be my favorite camera. Now, what out of these companies separates the 3 of them? Number 1. Number 2, what about a lower level company like Fuji? And how about Panasonic? They try very, very hard. Okay? So the trouble with Panasonic is not the cameras that they're putting out today. The trouble with Panasonic is they dug in, let's move this over here, with the focus system that they had, and they decided, they even had me convinced that they were going to make it work. It just does not live up to the modern phase detection, not phase, 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 phase detection systems that are in the Canon, the Nikon, and the Sony, and those focus wonderfully, better than wonderfully. Panasonic kept putting out systems and trying to convince you, you will like this. It's the fastest ever. You will like it. What? Look at my fingers. You are hypnotized. And then when Panasonic came out with the GH6, that was basically a kick below the belt. I mean, people were expecting for sure that Panasonic was going to put a top-end focus system and stay alive, and they didn't. They dug in with their, something defocus system, DDF or whatever it's called, and that just made a lot of people just give up. Sorry, we just give up, and they left. Then a year later, they came out with the S5 Mark II, and lo and behold, they put in a focus system. I don't want to say second to none, but equal to all. Their focus system is fantastic. However, they can't get traction in the marketplace. Here and there, there's pockets of traction. This is what happens when you get the influencers on YouTube that go, yeah, but the focus. Every time they made a video on the Panasonic camera, but the focus, but the focus, but the focus. Never mind they have one of the best image stabilizations on the market, but the focus. That's why when you design a camera, you have to design it for these YouTube influencers, because that is the people that will sing about that camera for a year or longer. Okay? And that can make or break a camera. The heating issue with the Canon, man, the R2 when it came out, it's a fantastic camera. I found very little wrong with it at all, except the Canon themselves were at the head of the parade, at the front of the parade, with the overheating issue. They weren't going like, we'll get it ironed out little by little, this or that. No. This is how long. This is what you could do. This is what when it goes out. This is how many minutes. Canon spent all their time telling us all about what to expect with their overheating system. With their system that overheats is a better way to phrase it. That was their own doing. Someone over there at Canon, I don't know what they put in these companies, but I think it's young people that are just fresh out of college and it's their first flight or second flight, okay? And they crash the plane. So they shoot themselves in the foot. Now Panasonic does have a good camera, and they have a decent system for repairs. I've had 2 repairs done with Panasonic. I was happy both times. You do have to jump through hoops to finally get it in motion, but once you do that, they're pretty good. So the camera companies have all risen together. Each one of them have their strengths. Each one of them have their weaknesses, but there's a few things that set them apart, okay? And the repair center, the service centers, is what separates the 3, okay? The fact that some of them have features in it that the others don't. So, for instance, take the Nikon. We're on this guy right here, okay? So this is the ZV-E1. That's what's broadcasting me right now. So if you're watching this in podcast style or watching the rewind while you're driving the car or something, I'm talking about the ZV-E1. Okay, now we just switched over to the R6. So as we go through these cameras, I'll tell you the exact weakness. The stabilization is the weakness on the R6 Mark II, and the heat management. Okay, the Z6 Mark III. The weakness on this camera is it's got a lot less weaknesses. The stabilization is still a weakness. It's between the best and the worst. Okay, so it's in the middle in terms of how good the stabilization is. In terms of features, the Z6 Mark III is actually more Sony-like and less Canon-like. They're not trying to gyp you out of this feature or that feature. Okay, the heating on all these cameras, the heating management needs to be worked on. I have said this so many times. You know, when you can't see the forest because of the trees, you're just a dummy. Okay, this big flat area right here. See this big flat area? It's flat as a pancake. Okay, that should be ribbed. Not only should be ribbed, it should have built-in, not microscopic, but minuscule pipes from top to bottom. And the bottom should be open and the top should be open. And on the inside of this array that I'm talking about, it should be basically close to the sensor. So you have a built-in, no power required, heat exchange unit. Cold air will come in the bottom of those little mini pipes, and hot air will escape out of the top. Now, it's not going to be the same as a fan, okay? But it'll take one step further. Take one step forward, mother may I, okay? They will take it and move it over that line where the cameras just overheat and overheat and overheat. And they overheat for a reason, because they've got so much in them right now. We don't want to take the stuff out so they don't overheat. But why have such a big flat panel across the back right there? And it's so flat and they will get so hot. Let me get out of the microphone. You could actually make pancakes on here on most of the cameras. So what they did is they've added fans. This does not have a fan, okay? But they can have a heat exchange unit built into these cameras. There's no reason why it can't. And it doesn't add $35, $40. I mean, Louis Vega, Mr. Camera Junkie, he's got this machine that will print. He brought me even some presents, a battery holder and stuff. It prints things in real life, okay? If he could do that in his house, okay, these camera companies can build a built-in heat exchange unit right here. They have access to the inside. You don't want to break that weatherproofing seal. So the piece that would go on here would actually mount very close where this flat thing, where am I? This flat thing would be replaced with a ribbed item that probably Mr. Camera Junkie can make for you, okay? And put that in here instead of this flat piece. And you would have cool air coming in the bottom of these pipes that are across the whole thing. And the hot air would expand and come out the top. And you would have heat management that's active without getting into the weather sealed portion of the body. Okay, that's something that Canon, Sony, Nikon, they all need to do that, unless they got a fan on it. Okay, now the major thing that puts Sony ahead of the game, not for everybody, but for a lot of people, is giving you a choice on your stabilization. So this has stabilization that is basically, when I say this, A7C Mark II, for you guys that I get complaints because you keep saying this and you keep saying that, and people don't know what I'm referring to. So I'm trying to correct that. In case you're wondering why you keep saying that, Peter, is because people will watch this after the fact. They don't need to watch me because I just sit and stay. I'm not dancing. I'm not singing. I'm not giving you a Broadway show. I sit at the Christmas desk and I talk. So the camera that I'm referring to is the A7C Mark II. However, the same goes for the A7 Mark IV, Mark III, and every other Sony camera except for one. And I will switch over to that one right now. Okay, so this is now broadcasting my show through the ZV-E1. I call her Eleanor. Okay, there's a story behind it. Sammy kind of named the camera for me, and it stuck. So this one is called Eleanor. All right. Now, Eleanor has advanced image stabilization approaching the goodness of a gimbal. Okay. Only on this model. They actually have two more models that actually have that. If I say actually one more time, I'm going to have to find myself. All right. So actually, both cameras that are not the ZV-E1 that have it is $6,500 cameras, which means you could buy 3 of the cameras that we are looking at now, the ZV-E1, okay, and we can, you know, for the same price as one of these $6,500 cameras. All right, so now the one feature that Nikon and Canon need to put in their cameras, and Fuji and Panasonic immediately, is when you record a video. This is not for still pictures. Like Woody is very much into still pictures, so he wouldn't appreciate this, okay? But a lot of us use our cameras for video also. And I was going to say, the cell phones have basically stolen that market because it's so easy to grab this, take it out of my pocket, and start shooting videos. Okay, and you could talk to this. Why can't I talk to my camera? Open my resolution menu. Hello, can you hear me in there? Open the resolution menu. Oh, now I gotta go find that resolution menu. Okay, open my stabilization menu. It won't listen to me. I wanted to do that because the phone, if I tell it, open this or open that, open my calculator, it does it. Okay? Well, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 cameras. Why can't I talk to it? So, anyway, they need to add the gyro information along with recording the video and with the audio, and they need to record the gyro. The gyro records my hand motions. A gyro, if you move this way or any which way, the gyro not stabilization, but the gyro recorder records your hand movements. Now you get the choice. You know, where the country I'm in is about choices. Okay, they say that we have free choice. I'm not so sure. All right. But if I wanted to get better stabilization than the one that's in here, which is yucky, okay, and where is the Canon? Let me pick on you for a second. All right. Canon has, the wider you go on the lenses with this camera, the yuckier your stabilization gets. And it's not that the stabilization is not working. It's working. Okay, but the way they're doing it, it gives you, I don't know, wobbles over here on the left side of the frame and over here on the right side of the frame, you know, and Nikon does the same thing. So it's actually something important that I have a choice. Wait, I don't like my video. I don't like it looking like that. What choices do I have? Well, Canon says, none. Take it or leave it, Buster. You don't have any other choice. On Sony, you could take your video, you could take it over to your Mac computer, open up software. There's 2 of them now. One is made by Sony. One is made by a group of people that got together outside of Sony and made a stabilization software. And they charge a lot for it. It's free. So you get 2 choices. The Sony brand and the other one that's free. It's like Magic Lantern. Have you ever heard Magic Lantern? It's a group of people that got fed up with Canon and said, we want these things in our camera. We'll do it ourselves. So they made a firmware that overlays your firmware. Okay, it's called Magic Lantern, and it'll allow you to shoot RAW on low-end cameras and so on and so forth. And they don't charge anything for it. Well, Sony's got the same thing. They have a group of people, and it's not connected with Sony. There's a group of Sony people, or people that own Sonys is the best way to say it, that have decided that their stabilization basically stinks. We'll fix that. They're giving us the gyro data, okay? We'll make our own software. We'll fix everything that's wrong with the software in Sony, meaning very slow, low quality, no queue where you could put 3 or 4 in at one time and go to the bathroom, go to the movies, go to sleep, okay? And it'll go through them one after the other. So that is a choice that's available only with Sony. That choice moves Sony to the top of the heap for me, okay? It should be in this Nikon, because the Nikon is probably one of the better built cameras of all the bodies out there. They build a very solid camera. Now, this doesn't diminish all the others. It raises Nikon, okay? Canon builds a very nice, solid camera. Sony builds a very nice, solid camera. I don't find a problem with the quality or the hardiness of this camera. But you pick up a Nikon and you know it, because the Nikon just seems to be built better. This is my opinion, by the way, guys. It's not like I'm God sitting here pronouncing judgment on everything. I'm giving you an opinion on the camera field. So what Canon, which is over there, what they need to do to move us Canon owners into the forefront, heat management, okay? And they need to put in the ability to give you the choice of if you want to step up your stabilization for your videos or not by putting in the gyro data. Over here, the Nikon camera, what do they need to do? Heat management, okay? I only gave one suggestion, and who knows? There's other people that have come up with other suggestions, okay? I'm not the designer at any of these companies, okay? So heat management, gyro data, so you get your own choice. If you want to take your image stabilization up a notch over on the Nikon, we just switched out when I was going to point to it, okay, you can do it. Sony, heat management. Other than that, oh, wait, the repair centers, the service centers, they need to come up. They have the gyro data in almost all their new cameras. A6100, who has an A6100? Alex, you have an A6100? I don't even know if he's in here tonight. Oh, yeah, because I saw his girlfriend. Okay, so Ashley was here. So it's got the gyro data. So let's say he shoots something and he goes, I want to kick it up a notch. I want better stabilization. Well, because he owns a Sony, he has that choice. If you don't own the Sony, you don't have that choice. I want you to have the choice. That's the point. I'm not trying to tell them you have to do this and you have to do that. I'm saying give me the choice. Give Randy the choice. Randy doesn't like taking and going to another software, but he does have the choice when he's using Sony. He doesn't have the choice when he's using Nikon or Canon. Randy's got them all. Or Fuji or Panasonic. Gee, Randy, what don't you have? Okay, so anyway, let's get into the comments that we got rolling here. Okay, Woody is saying hi. The volume is low. Hopefully that got fixed. Alex is saying he loves my cookies. I just had a chocolate chip cookie. Ashley is Alex's girlfriend, so they're probably snuggling up tonight because it's cold. It's 24 degrees. Yes, she says. Yes, 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 yes. Guess who I got my claws on, says Ashley. His name is Alex. Alex, you've been caught, buddy. You've been caught. So, Alex, Sony E1, FTW, or what Panasonic? Sony E1. Sony E1. No. No, 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 no. No Sony E1. No, Alex. No. The E1 FT? No. That camera is so stripped down, you go out and buy yourself an E10. The first one. Okay? And get one lens that'll do everything. Get the kit lens. Or I have on this one, I have not a zoom lens. It's an 11 millimeter f1.8. That's what you get. And stay with it. Don't be trading. Don't let other people influence you. I need this and I need that. Okay? If you can afford the E10 Mark II, this goes for Alex. This goes for Louis Lazuka. This goes for anybody that's looking to get a lot of camera for their money. The Sony E10 Mark II is a baby version of this pumpkin right here. Okay, it's a crop sensor. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have the stabilization that's in this camera. But none of the other Sony cameras in our price range has it either. But what Sony does give you is it gives you the gyro data. So you could say, hey, if I don't have stabilization or it comes out bad, I'll run it through GyroFlow or I'll run it through Catalyst Browse. They're both for free. It's just going to take some of my time. Okay? So, yeah, E10 Mark II is your best bang for the buck. If you want to kick it up a notch, the A7C Mark II. But if they come out with an A7C Mark III and they put the stuff that's in Eleanor and the stuff that's in the E10 Mark II in this camera, we'll be hunting for that camera. We'll be making donations to be buying that camera. I can tell you that right now. I love grabbing this camera. So Alex says the E1 or what Panasonic? The Panasonic S9 would be very good for you. It would work very well for you. I would have to think through some of the others because there's more than one Panasonic. But the E1 FT is so low in features, it shouldn't be on you're way above that camera. Okay? So we'll talk about that on the phone. Maybe when we do the podcast, because Alex is starting a podcast. And, hey, this is the first time you screwed up tonight. What's the deal? What you doing? Hello? Oh, well. It is what it is. So we'll move. Oh, she grabbed. Okay. So this is one of the best focus systems going. I still have problems with it. So Randy says, hi, everybody. Happy Friday. And where is Scotty? I need some food with my large mocha frappe. Oh, you're going to get me hungry. Hungry. Nikon A. Are you talking Canadian? Nikon A. Hey! Scotty is in the house. Oh, Scotty was playing. You know, Scotty goes and he's part of a group and they play in churches. He plays in church on Sunday. Getting hair in my lip. Yuck. And tonight he went and played for a not a nursing home. What do they call it when you move in over 55? So he went and played for them tonight. Probably the piano. And do you sing when you go there, or is just the backup on the piano? Randy says the Nikon crop sensor cameras are the D500, ZFC, Z50 Mark II, The full frames are DF, D600, ZF, Z63, and Z8. So over here, Alex, the Z50 Mark II, that would be a recommendation for you also. Okay? Z50 Mark II. It's in the comments on the side over here. So find Randy's post. The Nikon Z50 Mark II would be something you can afford. Hot beverage for Randy. Randy already has the cold one. He's got the frappe mocha. Do you know, Scotty, do you know what the frappe mocha is? It's a cold coffee. It is a cold coffee, right, Randy? And it's got chocolate, it's got whipped cream, and then it's got like Hershey syrup on top. Very, very good. Alex says, Randy. Oh, so you read that. All right, so the V50 Mark II, Alex, home in on that one, buddy. Okay? But here's the big thing to remember for everybody within the sound of my voice, okay? You marry the lenses and you date the body. So you could be dating one girl and then you might not last and you're dating another girl, but the lenses stay. The lenses stay. So if you get into the Nikon lenses, Randy, you're going to stick with it. Okay? You could change bodies. Okay? That's why I said the Sony E10 Mark II would be the camera for you to target. Okay? And that is because whatever lenses you buy for that, when you get better and better and you want a higher end camera, those lenses will work on there. Same thing with the Nikon. If you get the Z50 Mark II, okay, whatever lenses you buy for Nikon, and when you grow up and you want a bigger, more expensive camera, those lenses will work on your new Nikon body. So you date the body and you marry the lens. Okay? So Scotty, Randy's talking to Scotty. I got the frappe mocha. I need some food. He told you, Scotty. Don't you be coming in here with a cup of coffee, dude. You're way too high up for that now. You are the resident catering expertise, whatever they call it. So you better hit us with a good meal. Don't forget to have something in there for Peter. And don't give me just no shit about rice cakes. I don't like rice cakes. I want something, either that or I'm going to go off my diet. I'm just going to have ice cream. Cookies and cream, ice cream. So Evelyn is here. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. I'm singing you a song. I'm singing it loud. I'm singing it clear. Evelyn, so pretty tonight. I'm so glad you're here with me. Evelyn, she got a little chilly. Evelyn, we'll all send you a blanket. Evelyn, who's that you're sitting there with? Just cuddle up and get warm again. So that's Evelyn. That is Scott's mother. That means she's all of our mother. Whatever she says, goes. Okay? We have to obey Mama. So Randy's saying, Alex, what are you using now? So Alex has the A5100. That's a good camera. Actually, it's a good camera. Don't trade it until we really think about it. No impulsive trading with the camera. That's ended. It's over. No more impulsive trading. Okay? If you could trade into an E10, E10 original, E10 Mark II, you have permission to do that. And when I say you have permission, I say that respectfully. You can do whatever the hell you want. You know that, right? But I just see you getting slapped, bitch slapped, back and forth with all these cameras, and that's got to stop because it's sucking all the money out of you. And I don't like to see that happening to you. Okay? So that is a very solid camera, and it's actually very good. So Randy's going, Alex, are you doing more photos? Are you doing more video? He does both. He's got live streams. He's going to be doing a podcast, and he takes pictures. So I would say he leans more into video, but you can't throw the photos away with Alex. He will take photos also. And here, I don't have to answer it. Alex can answer it himself. Both Okay, so Alex, who are you holding up in that picture? I don't recognize that. That's a new avatar. You got to give me the story on that, Alex. So Randy says HD on video or a little 4K for video. And this time I will read before I answer for him. God, I get so close to all of you. I can answer all your questions in your place. So thank God Scotty's here. I was waiting. Pork barbecue, chips, a few gherkins on the side. I want the sweet ones, okay? The sweet pickles and the dill pickles. I like them both, okay? That's why I have a Sony camera, a Nikon camera, a Canon camera, and a Sony camera and a Panasonic camera. Where is she? She's sitting somewhere. I can't see her. Oh, I'm going to get scared now. There's an S5. Oh, I found it. It's on the shelf. It's where it belongs. Never look for something that you want to find it in where it belongs. Okay. So thank God Scotty got here with the food. Oh, now let's say our prayer and dig in. Here's Mr. Camera Junkie. I was talking about you a little while ago. Good to see you. Hi, Aiden. Hi, Aiden. Hi, Aiden. How you doing, big boy? I love you, Aiden. Scotty saying hi to his mother. Hi, Mom. And Randy is talking to Scott. I couldn't wait anymore, so I had macaroni and Rayo's meat sauce, spaghetti meat sauce. Thanks anyway. See, you were late, Scotty. But he was playing. He was playing live tonight, so he gets a free pass. So, Randy is talking to Mr. Camera Junkie. If I could click it. Loving your shorts. Evelyn, howdy to you too. And Woody is QQQ. Wouldn't dust and debris get into the back of the camera if you cut ribs in the back? Okay, not the way I designed it. If the rib thing has two sides, this is the inside, this is the outside, and the two never meet. Okay, so the inside stays sealed. The only thing that it does is heat up the ribs. Okay, now on the outside, that's where the pipes are open on the bottom and the pipes are open on the top. Not on the inside, on the outside. So when the heat expands and the hot air goes out the top, you're not going to create a vortex of space in there. The cool air is going to get sucked in automatically as the hot air exits. So you're getting a heat exchange happening. However, all right, the inside still is as sealed as it is today. No breaking of the seal. The pipes are mostly exposed on the outside, and the cut in the pipe is on the outside over here on the bottom and on the top. And what's exposed over here is the sensor and the inner workings of the camera. As the camera gets hotter, these things will get hot and heat expands. That means over where the pipes are, the hot air is going to escape out the top because it's getting expanded. So when you have hot air leaving the building, it's got to get replaced. So it's going to automatically suck in the cool air from the bottom. Okay? And that is the Peter Gregg heat exchange method. And it's built into the camera. Okay, so what they do, in my opinion, is they will take this flat portion right here and redesign it. Redesign it so that it's ribbed all the way across, but each rib will be a pipe, a very small pipe. Nothing bigger, maybe even smaller in diameter, outside diameter of toothpicks. So picture a small toothpicks just laying across here. And at the top of the toothpicks are open holes, and at the bottom of the toothpicks are open holes. Now encase that whole thing as a solid piece, take this flat piece off, and put our new heat exchange on there, seal it up solid. No water. The camera's got to be as sealed as it is everywhere else. But as this gets the heat, it will change the threshold of the heat that's in the body. We're giving it a way to get out. And as the tubes cool down, it'll help the inside of the camera cool off. Now, They could say that won't work. Somebody out there has got to be engineers in these companies that could come up with something. Honestly, I'm not, not even close to an engineer. I can work a vacuum cleaner. All right. But I just can't help but look at this very flat area here and thinking if they just grooved that, it would allow heat to escape because you would be doubling your surface. And then I said, if you built in some miniature diameter toothpicks that were hollow and just lay them right across this whole thing here, epoxy them into as one piece, take out this flat piece, there's screws here, and replace it with this new heat exchange module, and that should move the heat threshold quite a bit, because now you've got a way for heat to get out. You know where heat comes out of all the bodies the most? Right around the ring of the lens, because it's metal. When you take the lens off, I won't be taking it off long, so it'll look quick. Okay? That's a metal ring. That gets very hot. Then you put this metal on it, and you actually have a form of a heat exchange going on. The heat from the body is being transferred with the lens. So when you're running anybody here that is running a camera, put your finger right around here after you've had it on for a long period of time. You'll be amazed at how hot the base of the lens is. It's actually exchanging heat for you. No pipes, nothing. It's just one metal touching another metal. Okay? And it is expelling heat. Then you've got this piece on the top. But this gets much hotter than this piece on the top. So imagine if you got the heat coming out here and the sensor's all the way back when you take the lens off. Look how far back the sensor is. Look at that. It's way back there. Trying to get it to reflect. Okay, not going to cooperate. Oh, there it is. So the sensor is in quite deep. I get nervous when there's no lens on the camera, so I'm putting it back on. So this back panel, the sensor's sitting right inside. So let this sucker heat up, but give it a way to get the hot air out. Okay? And don't break the weather sealing. We want the cameras to stay weatherproofed. Right, Woody? We want that. That is priority number one. So take the word cut out of your equation. We're not cutting anything. No cuts. No cuts. They're designing a new piece that gets screwed on the back instead of the piece that's there. It gets sealed up tight as a submarine, just like it is now. So, Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, is saying thank you, Randy. Many more to come. Yeah, I'm even getting the itch for shorts. I haven't done them, but I'm getting the itch. Woody, the heatsink is a grill and not cut into the body. My experience with keeping things cool. You really need a fan blowing on it to keep it from overheating. Okay? Well, that's his opinion. I don't have the ability to test it, and Randy could be right. So I'm just trying to get some heat off the body naturally and not at a high cost. So that's my idea. Here's Sly. Hi, Peter and everybody. Flu is rampant in Oklahoma. You guys keep Sly in your prayers. She's having a battle, guys. She wasn't on for the last 2 weeks, possibly 3 weeks, and she might not be on this Tuesday. Okay, it's settled into her voice box. She won't even talk to me, which is a big deal. Okay, because we talk a lot, but not if she's in pain. So you guys that are Christians in your heart, shoot up a prayer for Sly to have a fast and easy recovery. Okay, it's very important because she is just lingering and in pain. Got to take treatments for whatever is going on. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I have not spoken to her, just FYI. I have not spoken to her at all. Randy, I did speak to, was it today or yesterday? One of the days, okay. So he is on the mend. He is doing better. He had surgery in his mouth on his gums and everything, where they pull the gums way from the teeth. And, yeah, the pain, it's got to be crazy. Well, they numb you, and they they scrape all the way down in the bottom. So he was out too, and he says, "I can't talk. My mouth is swollen." They Novocained him from here to eternity. So here we go again. It is what it is. I did change, and I moved. Well, actually, I moved over here. So it's at the end of the piano. So I moved the box over to the end of the piano. So where do I sit? I sit at the high keys of the piano. So let me go move that box, okay? Give me a second, because this is annoying. Very, very annoying. I don't think you can hear me, but what I'm doing is I'm moving the focus box Okay, I moved it. All right, I should take an advantage and go to the bathroom. All right, so wrong camera. Let's go back over to the Canon. So I have a box like that, okay? And the box is now sitting over. Wait, I can roll. The box is sitting over there. So now when my body comes over here, I am covering the high end of the keys of the piano. All right, so where it was before, okay, it goes like this from the top, and it comes down to here. I was talking about you, Buster. Stay there while I explain. Okay, so it was basically centered here, kind of like here. Maybe a little bit in the center, but just a little bit over. Now I moved it so it's here. So now if we come here and it doesn't focus on me, what that box does, just so you know, is it looks in that box area, which goes from here to here, to find something to focus on. So if I put my hand up now, it should focus on my hand really quick. And if I move my hand out, it should come back to it should be on my face because I do have face detection on. Now I have had it lock in on the mic before, and that means it wasn't finding a face, okay? But I would say my face is the most prevalent thing that's happening now. So I moved the box over because I can. Okay, so let's see if that does any better. So we were keeping Sly in our prayers for her to get better, feel better, look better. Well, I don't mean it like that. I didn't mean anything by that, Sly. Okay. But under the weather, you look, like your head's under a towel with the steam going up. That's what when I had bad coughs and stuff, I would get like a bowl of hot water and put the oil of oregano and mix it in the water. And then I put a towel over my head and then breathe the steam that's coming in because the breathing tubes are, they get bad. Then I found that stuff called NAC that I get on Amazon, and that targets your respiratory tract. That was a doctor. I learned that from a doctor. Okay, so keep Sly in your prayers. Keep Norm in your prayers too. He's fine. We just got to pray for Norm. And pray, Lord, please do something with Norm. Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening. Greggy's around the world. I use a gimbal to stabilize my videos, but you're high end. You're talking about that one I can't pronounce, Scorpio. It works well with my Nikon cameras. I want to hold this camera, and I want it to look as good. Norm, listen. I want it to look as good as your gimbal, and I could do that with GyroFlow. Okay? And I'm not BSing you. I really can. And, it just gives you the freedom. Because if I come over to have chicken dinner with you, I don't want to bring a camera and a gimbal and all that stuff. I just want to bring this little guy and just hold him and take pictures. Where's that chicken? Well, I didn't know the chicken was a miniature size. Oh, there it is. And then zoom in on the chicken. Okay. So, love you, Norm. Thank you that I could tease you. So Evelyn is asking Sly, how are you doing now, Sly? And Sly answered her, I still have it, but I am getting a bit better. Thanks, Miss Evelyn. So Sly's being careful. She doesn't want to say, oh, I'm doing much better, because then I'm going to say, well, then why can't we talk on the phone? So she just wants to just give you a little bit of better so that you know she is getting better. And that's what she texted me, that she is doing better, but she still doesn't want to get into a conversation. So if she's going to talk with somebody, you know it's going to be with her grandson or with whoever's helping take care of her. Other than that, she's quiet, because when she talks, it affects the breathing area and the throat and all that. So why have the woman be in pain? So I don't want to do that to her. So I'm just teasing her, making her try to have a uplift this. Maybe if I get her mad, something other than just sitting there, because it gets so boring. I made a video for her. You never told me if you watched it or not. Randy says, Sly, also Snow, hope you are doing well. Hi, Norm. And Mr. Camera Junkie is saying A6100. I know he has one of those. And Randy says, ditto, ditto. And Sly says, tomorrow it will finally be above freezing. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Randy says, I don't have a Pentax. Oh my God, Randy's not going to be able to sleep tonight. I love the Pentax 645s, the digital ones, the newer ones. But honestly, I would probably go with a Fuji body at that point over the Pentax, although the Pentax is not a slouch. Now, for the 35mm style, Pentax is actually more advanced than you think. Where Pentax falls down is they don't have a lot of money for R&D. So here's Bokeh Bashudo. Hey, Peter. Hi, everybody. And great to hear from Sly. Okay, guys, I have to tell you something. The big boy in the room now is Carlos, Bokeh Bashudo. Okay? You're not going to believe what I tell you. I promise. It's a good story. I'm not kidding you. Give me a second to drink my water, will ya? Okay, so Bokeh Bashudo is Carlos. Carlos has had a few channels. One of them is called The Daily Man. Forgot what the other one was called. And then he recently opened one called Bokeh Bashudo. Okay? And I remember saying, he's family. You guys get your asses over there and subscribe. Well, you did. Okay? A lot bigger than I can tell you. Let's see if I can open that up. If I screw it up, just stick with me for a second. Don't be quick to shoot me. Let's go to the desktop. Okay, and so this is you guys. So this is just today. Today is the 21st, right? Yeah. So Randy put a video up on the S9 with the Sigma 35. Randy put another one up with this S9 and the Sigma 35 car video. This one was part 1 and this one is part 2. Randy put up a Ryko GR3X, a small portable camera with, boy, he's got some really good models going on in there now. No, that's a screensaver. Okay, so you think Randy put up a few videos? Do you? I think so. Geeky Nerdy Techie put up one 13 hours ago. The OC Ghost Stream Duet Kit. the ultimate streaming solution, the entire setup. So he's got a 25-minute video on that. Okay, and he also put one up on the best 10-watt tube combo amp. Simon put, is the Panasonic S1R Mark II what we've been waiting for? So you'll have to go watch it to see. Okay, shorts. Shane is killing it with the shorts. Okay, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the shorts. And, you know, they don't have the names underneath. I know these are him because I can see his face. Okay, let's see. Call of Duty. I bet you that's Randy. I'm not sure. So now we got full videos. So here is the Ryko GR3, a small portable camera. And he put that up yesterday. In the blues, we have the Fender amp. And Randy is, he's got a scan digital film scanner. You know, you could pick what you want to be your thumb. You know that, Randy, right? Okay, here's Bouquet Bushido. Okay, so this little guy had 3 subscribers 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Let's just go over here and see what Carlos is doing. Okay, so poor little Carlos, all the way in California, had 3, had 20, had 50. Now he's got 4,005 subscribers. What is up with that? Oh, good Lord Jesus, he got blessed. And then let's look at the videos. Look at the videos. The one he put up a day ago has got 3,100 views. And they will oscillate in views. So this is your year. It's got 400. Dangerous Obsessions got 400, 600. Okay, 600. Then all of a sudden he's got 1,100, 4,600 views, 1,000 views, 400, 700, 800, 1,000 views, 1,000 views. So he's become the new grandpa. Okay, honestly speaking, he's it. He's bigger than me. He's bigger than all of us. So we just gotta bow to him. He's king of the hill now. Oh, see, the R6 is staying in focus. So I'm back here. So congratulations, Carlos. I love you so much. I'm just so happy that the blessings came to you. Where am I? Over here. And you guys need to watch his videos. They're very good. Okay? And that's why you've got over 4,000 people watching him. So this is the channel, Bouquet Bushido. So it's Bush IDO. Bouquet is B-O-K-E, B-O-K-E-H, B-U-S-H-I-D-O. Okay, Randy, can you put a link for that to his channel here in the comments? Bouquet Bushido. Okay, now Randy has a channel of his own, so what I'm asking him to do is a little bit mean, because he should be putting a link for his channel. You could put a link for your channel too, Randy. I don't want to be mean towards anybody. So, Alex Kane, Sony ZV-E1, FTW. No, Peter thumbs that down, Alex. So, you can go with Randy, you can go with Peter. Geeky Nerdy Techie, Shane is in the house. Hey, hey, hey. Well, he's actually the big boy. He's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So, and that's his tech channel right there. And Evelyn is here. I went out last Sunday to see Scott in a great show, but was worried about the crowd and the flu. But so far, so good. I know you were real sick. So, who was sick? Was Scotty sick? You know something? I do want to say something. We are slipping where I still do, and maybe because I'm sensitive because of my age, I still do the what do they call it when you pour the sanitization? Sanitizer. You guys got to get back into the habit of doing the sanitizer. The flus are getting stronger, and who knows? They might come out with another thing to try to attack the world again. I mean, we're getting all kinds of news now with Trump in there. He's uncovering all of this, that the news has been lying to us, lying. Okay, and enough people are dying from the vaccine where he might outlaw it. Okay, so we're from one group of people that say if you don't have it, we don't want to bother with you, to now a new group of people that say it's basically killing your immunity system. That's the newest news, is that it is basically down the road slowly putting your immunity system to sleep. I didn't make that up. That's what I read. Okay? You want to research that? That's something to research. But now we're able to talk about it, where before we were not. And YouTube is still not open. They still won't allow it. Okay? So read between the lines. All right, so Randy's talking to Alex, and Sammy is saying, hi, everybody. Hi, Sammy. Sammy is shooting a major film right now, and it's got, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, Sammy. If I'm allowed to say it, let me know. Okay? But he's got a major star, and Sammy is doing all the camera work. He's not doing the editing. He does the camera work. He hands over the video files. Then the editor is editing it into a movie. But the camera work that's getting recorded, the audio and the camera, that's our big boy Sammy is doing all of that. And he's got a really big star in there. Okay? So here's Louis Lazuka. Love you, buddy. Hi, friends. How you doing? Good to see you. Why won't your name come up? There he goes. Hi, friends. Bup. Peter, I'm sorry, but I haven't bought a new camera yet. You probably will buy one in 2026, or when we take a collection and buy one for you. Hello, Sly. Hi, family. Currently have my eye on the Osmo 4. Boy, you need to read the Bible. You're going to get blown to and fro. Put your anchor down and just stay on one and aim for that. Then the boat can go forward. So here we go. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, Sammy, is Mocha Frappuccino is the Mocha Frappo. Mocha Frappa. Mocha Frappy. That's what Randy calls it. Date the body. And Peter, what about all my Canon lenses? You're married to them, buddy. You are married to them. But in the camera world, you can have more than one wife. Not in the human world. One wife only. You got that? Okay. But in the camera world, you could be married. I've got a Nikon lens shelf. I've got a Canon lens shelf. I've got a Sony lens shelf. I have an S5 Mark II lens shelf. And I have a Micro Four Thirds lens shelf. The three fullest are the Sony, Canon, and Nikon. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to talk to Alex. I have to tell him something. So the lens stay with the Sony bodies. Love you all so much. I will stick to my phone. That's Louis Lazuka. And did you hear that the FX9 got discontinued today? So that means there might be a new Sony cinema camera on the way. You like celery and radishes, Mr. Peter? No, he doesn't. He does not like celery and radishes. You have to stop thinking with your brain onto what I can eat, because I don't eat anything that's in your brain. You are thinking that healthy eating is like a rabbit. I don't eat anything a rabbit eats. I eat steak. I eat hamburgers. I eat hot dogs. If I have the keto buns, I'll have the hot dog in the keto buns. I'll make my own homemade coleslaw, which is keto, but it does have the cabbage that I buy, and it's angel shredded cabbage. I will have my homemade ice cream. I will have my homemade chocolate pudding. I will have my smoothies, which are so good now. They're better than sex. Okay. So radishes, rice cakes, where do you come up with this crap? Unbelievable. You're thinking the old days of healthy food. That's crapola. I don't eat that stuff. Give me a ribeye steak. Ooh, give me a filet mignon. Ah, give me a hot dog with cheese and mustard and even a little ketchup. Ooh, give me some shrimp and I'll even dip it in cocktail sauce. You eat the rice cakes. I got a box of rice cakes here. I'm going to mail them to you. So you seem to like the rice cakes. I wouldn't touch them. Oh, the Atkins. Whoops, sorry. The Atkins Reese's peanut butter cups. Ooh, mamma mia, that's so delicious. It's bellissimo, beautiful. Scotty's doing that just to make me laugh. So this is Randy talking to Sammy. Okay. And this is Randy talking to Lewis. And... oh, so I'm glad I didn't say it. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I can't say just yet, but I filmed a very famous actor with the FX30, and it is such a great camera. Yep, it's more famous than you think. Okay, more famous than you think. Woody says, thanks for the update on the Rift design. Well, I'm guessing you didn't get it because it's the last thing I want to do, Woody, is break open the weather sealing. I mean, that's one of the things I like about my camera is the weather sealing. Okay, the first thing I look at the lens, when I have a lens, let's see if this lens, actually I don't even know this lens. I look for the rubber gasket. Yep, there's a black rubber gasket. I could feel it all the way around. So this lens, the 11 millimeter, is weather sealed. Now there's other cheapy lenses like this $99 lens that is also like a lens cap. There's no rubber gasket on here. Which camera am I on? Over here. So this one does not have that. So my weather sealing is very important. Importante. I don't know if that's a real word. I just made this up. So Lewis says, hi, my dear friend Randy. I love you all so much. The R6 Mark II. Do you recommend this for me, Peter? It seems to lose focus on the 85. I'm shocked. Well, you go right ahead and buy it then. If that's what you like, you're watching the cameras in action. Don't just look at me. Look at how the cameras are performing. Do you like the way that camera's handling itself? I'm not going to answer it because we have a lot of Canon fanboys here. Okay. Now, when you get it handled right, like right now, it seems to be doing a lot better that I moved where the focus target was. Now, the problem is I didn't save it. So when I go to put it on again next week, it's going to revert back to focusing on whoever's over here. Okay, so it's focusing basically less than half my face. So I took the over here and I moved it over so it's solid. And it switched on me while I'm talking. Oh, well. Well, why would you ask me that? Are you interested in an R6 Mark II? Well, you would do pretty well with it, to be honest with you. I don't even know where I am. So at that point, it's basically your buying price. If you get an amazing killer deal, then you can go ahead and get it. If you're not getting an amazing killer deal, then you buy the Sony. Okay? You'll be getting better and more camera and features for your money, for less money. So Randy says, dentist was very good. They did a deep cleaning, removing the plaque from the teeth underneath the gums. No pain. but I couldn't talk because my mouth was numb, not swollen. Okay. He'll set me straight. Don't worry. So Randy is talking to Lewis. Yeah, I'm a little on that camera, more towards the left side, which is more, when you look at it, towards the right side. Here's Mookie. Love you, buddy. Hi, everybody. Get and stay healthy. We need good people to stick around for a long time. Amen. In Jesus' name, I agree with you, Mook. I agree. And the Bible says if two or more agree, it is so. So we make it. All you guys are all healthy. Oh, so it seems. Thank you, Randy. I love you so much, buddy. Randy. Oh, Randy did put up Carlos's website. It's right there. You can copy and paste it. He's our buddy that went from 0 to 4,000 subscribers. Is it 4,000? In 3 weeks. You need to put a course up. How? I went from 0 to 4,000 in 3 weeks. $49.99, $99.99, whatever it is. So that's his link right there. So if you're not subscribed, he is a member of the family, so go subscribe. Mookie is talking about Carlos at Bokeh. You need to do a video, and it's called What Your Field of View Says About You. That's an interesting concept. What does my field of view say about me? Well, that's a good question, Mookie. I try to frame everything as if it was going to be a printed picture. So I come from the printed picture world, but I am fully embedded in the video world. Yet I try to make all my videos, like if I went like this, we got a portrait going there. You know? So that's the way I look at it. And then Randy put a link to his site. He's got more videos than anybody. So if you want to see what he's doing, get over there. Just click on the link, and that's where Randy is. And here is Mark. Yo, Peter, how's it going? Quick question. Do you have any experience with the Rode Procaster? No, none at all. I was tempted, but it never happened. I'm still tempted, okay? But the funds are not there to go playing around with stuff like that. I might get a loaner, but I don't really want to upset the flow of what I got going on in here. But then I get so curious, Mark, that I want to. Now, look at Shane's new video that he put up on a broadcasting module all built into one. Shane is very up on these things, including the Rode Procaster. So he would be, that's geeky, nerdy, techie, in case you didn't know that. Okay, so, Randy put up another link to his Randall Brander. There you go. Now, I think 2 times a year, Randy, you can, well, I'll talk to you on the phone about that. Audio is Carlos. Oh, so Carlos did the audio, and Sammy did the video. And Carlos, and not Carlos in California. Carlos is Sammy's good buddy. They're close like brothers, like Alex. I should be jealous of Sammy. He's got the best friends. So, can't say who was the I will get a rice cake suit. Very funny. I made some mods with the FX30 to make it with the rig, so then I can have a perfect, have it perfect for the set, since I have a camera assistant. What camera do you have right now, Lewis? He's talking to Luzuka. And Lewis answered, gee, I don't even have to get involved here. He's got a T6S, which happens to be a pretty good camera. He has the EOS M, the T6S, and still enjoy life and the iPhone. A lot of people are using the iPhone now to just grab it and shoot videos. And the iPhones have clobbered the low-end cameras. You're better off with an iPhone or a Android, the newer cell phones, than you are with the point and shoots. Most of the point and shoots, honestly. You have a great camera, Lewis. You can make some amazing things with the EOS M and T6S. I would say if you want to upgrade, the best is to invest in lenses. So Lewis is saying, thank you, Sammy. Here is a tip that I have learned. You can make a 10 to 15-year-old camera look amazing if you know the right tools and have the right skills. Camera is the data capture point. That's it. Words of wisdom right out of Sammy's mouth. There you go. And Sammy is a very good film maker. Thank you for the honesty, my dear friends. Here's our buddy Mark. I just got a new job, and I will be running 2 studios here in Chicago, doing a live podcast and creating content. So I've been super busy, so I'm trying to wrap my head around with sound hardware. That is my weak spot. You'll get up to speed on that fairly quickly. So I could tell you something just clear out of thin air. I'm just going to pull it out of thin air, okay? If you don't want to do the research and you want a top-of-the-line unit, the Rode Podcaster Pro is a good thing to target, okay? You're not, what do they call it, settling with that unit. The unit that Shane just did a video on is equal to, but it might not have the bells and the whistles, like tweet, tweet, bing, bing, bong, bong, okay? If that's important to you, I think the Rode Podcaster Pro is one of the top of the line. So who to go looking for to get honest, unbiased responses on this stuff, okay? The people that have a lot of experience with the different interfaces, Shane, Geeky Nerdy Techie, hands-on with a lot of it, but he's very heavy he's heavy on the Rode. And now the new ones that are coming out as all-in-one units, okay? Tom Buck is the other one that comes to mind. Now, if you're doing content, Mark, I guess the one question that's going to lead you definitely into what you should be using is going to be if you want to shoot with 4K as your master files, even though you might put them out as 1080, or if you want to shoot in 1080. Because if you want to shoot in 1080, that opens the door to a lot of different things, but they won't handle 4K for you, okay? So that becomes an important point. So now the audio. I changed, because of Tom Buck, I just changed my audio chain. I was using the ATM Mini, which is over there, only for audio, even though I can change a lot of the cameras on there. But it's 1080 only, and I broadcast in 4K. Then Tom was making a video, and he casually said, oh, it's one of the worst for audio. And I'm going like, oh, wait, I'm shooting with that. What do you mean it's one of the worst for audio? But Tom Buck is somebody I trust. So if he says it, it's done. One and done. Okay? So I moved to the amplifier, the preamp, which is what I'm using now, SSL2. Now that doesn't have all the bells and whistles of the Rode Podcaster Pro. Now, I do not know if Rode Podcaster Pro is allowing you to shoot 4K or not. If you need to shoot 4K, you're going to have to deep dive into it, because all of these are basically aimed for 1080. So, and that leaves me out, because I definitely want 4K. And that becomes important for me. Now, Randy is somebody that does shoot in 4K, but he's using the little, what do they call that? Cam adapters or something like that for each camera that does 4K. And he's using the same thing I'm using, which is Ecamm. And which, by the way, they just updated my Ecamm about 15 minutes before I went live tonight. And I was scrambling because it said it got declined. There wasn't enough money in my account. So I had to run to the bank and I have $25 cash in my pocket, and put the $25 cash in. Now I don't have any cash in my pocket, but it cleared and we are live. And we are live in 4K. So I just renewed for the year on Ecamm. So that is good. Okay, we have an unlimited budget. I also purchased an ATM Blackmagic Pro as well. We will be using the Sony A1 Mark II cameras. Boy, that's a high-end camera. Okay, what kind of a computer? Do you have a high-end Mac? Okay, then the setup I have here is the studio, the Mac, Apple Mac Studio. However, the new Mac Mini is more powerful, but it's got less plugins. That is the centerpiece. That's the computer that runs everything that I'm about to tell you, which is very simplistic. Okay. Now, running up to 4 cameras in 4K is the Blackmagic Recorder something. Quad HDMI recorder. The Blackmagic Quad HDMI recorder. Now, that goes into a PCI Express slot on a Windows type computer. But I use Ecamm to control all this. And if you want to use Ecamm, which I highly recommend, which Randy has done some videos on that, okay, then you need to use that card for your Mac. But the Mac won't accept it. So you have to buy a special box. So if you want, you can look through my older videos, and I give you each piece of equipment that you need to mimic what you want to do. Okay. I wanted to use PC computers, but they bought the new Apple Mac Studio computers. They made the right choice. And I don't mean to come against what you're saying, Mark. Okay. But the Mac gives you a better flow for everything. And they made the right choice by going with that. Now, you can learn to use OBS, which will work on both the PC computers, and it will also work on your new studio computer. But with Ecamm, use my link, because they will give me like, I think, $30 or $40 commission. So if that means anything to you to let me have that money, use my link for Ecamm, and you get the Ecamm Pro. Okay, that will allow you to shoot, record, isolate, handles the audio, handles the video, handles the Stream Deck, where you push a button and it changes the cameras, all of that. You don't have to have that. I don't have it. I use the mouse, and I could change the camera just by clicking on it, and now I'm over on this camera. Okay, I can also assign hotkeys, and I could just click F3, F4, F5 to go through the cameras. That's inside of a software called Ecamm. Okay, now Ecamm will allow you to stream, which is what I'm doing now, or it allows me to make my videos that are content, take that, go into Final Cut Pro, edit it up whatever way I want, export it, and then come out with the video that's going to go to wherever the target is. So you're a smart guy, you're young, and the reason I'm adding that is As you get older, I notice I'm getting older. I'm more set in my ways. Okay. You're younger, so you're not quite set in your ways, but you're getting at that age where that's in there a little bit. Okay. So that's the best road, even though it's counter to what you wanted to do. So I understand what you wanted to do, but the better road is the way they went. So it sounds like they got money and they got some smarts to go along with it. So don't fight them too much, but if you believe in something, you can use me, get my email, keep it handy. We can talk things back and forth, or you can even call me. And we could talk it through. So this way you've got more oomph when you want to put your foot down on something. Okay, so, but congratulations. That sounds like a really sweet job. I'm jelly. Sammy says, one request I want is another HDMI SDI on the FX30. So then I don't have to loop out from the transmitter. Yeah, we do have to do loops. So I don't know if they'll put that on an FX30, Sammy. I think they'll put that on something that's going to cost more bucks. Maybe the FX6 Mark II. Who knows? I'm pretty good with OBS. They also wanted to use high-end AIV software for content. Well, if you're good with OBS, it'll work on PC, and it'll work just as well on in the studio. As a matter of fact, I have it in the studio. I was not going to renew the Ecamm, and then I figured I've been saving up, and finally I thought I had enough, but then it got rejected and I couldn't go live, and I was short just a little bit. So I had to run to the bank, deposit in the ATM machine, my cash, my, what you call it, money, the emergency money in my pocket, and then it went through because they shut down the Ecamm. Because I went to turn on the Ecamm. No, you didn't pay. I mean, I didn't pay. So anyway. Okay, Sammy, no 4K for me is okay. Okay. Well, 4K, we're moseying into 4K. So that's what we're doing. All right, guys, we have done a much longer show than I thought we were going to do. I'm a little bit surprised because I thought it was going to be a little bit on the quiet side tonight. What am I looking for? Okay. I thought it was going to be a little bit on the quiet side tonight, and we actually have a nice amount of people. Thank you who participated. If you're going to watch this on the rerun, the rewind as Randy calls it, make a comment for me. Don't just watch and take off, okay? Just say hello to me. It makes me feel good. You got a problem with that? Doesn't cost anything. So thank you for being here. God willing, and the bridge isn't up. We'll see you next Friday. I love you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.